You're going to like In the Trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics today, because we catch up once again with Bengals defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo. And man, did they play hard, fast, physical football against the Tennessee Titans last week. Lou Anarumo put together a masterful game plan, and his players went out and executed to as high a level as you possibly can. They missed one tackle in an NFL game against the Tennessee Titans and a guy by the name of Derrick Henry. What? But Pittsburgh Steelers want to ground and pound a little bit. The Tennessee Titans definitely want to ground and pound. The Kansas City Chiefs, air it out. It's almost like you have to think the reverse. You want to invite them to run the football. You want to stop the passing attack and make Mahomes hand it off a little bit. It's kind of a weird dynamic. Getting ready for the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to talk to defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo about what he's doing, how he's doing it as game day gets closer and closer. Thanks for joining us once again in the Trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics. We're coming from our studios as always, and our guest is the one, the only, the none other defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo, who once again, defensive football team stepped up, executed your game plan, coach, against the Tennessee Titans, and it was Henry. Who you guys did a job now. That was very impressive. That was about as physical a defensive performance as I've seen in a while now.
Yeah, I appreciate it. The guys, man, they really took it to heart and knew what it was going to take to win that game, and did a great job executing the plan.
Well, I'm looking at tape and watching DJ Reader, consume double teams and watching BJ Hill knock back the guard on his keister, there. It was, you talk about capturing the line of scrimmage, inverting the line of scrimmage, knocking it back. So many times Henry's feet stopped, and then he has to go sideways. Was that the plan in a nutshell, coach? You wanted to just get him to stop his feet?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. When he has always shown, and such a great back, and always shown throughout his career, that when he can hit those inside gaps, downhill, shoulder square, running right through, he's going to be hard to get on the ground. We found that out on that screen pass that we gave up. We were able to, in the run game, get him to kind of restart a little bit. And then we did a good job fitting our gaps, and, D-line, linebackers, DBs, tackling. It was a great effort.
You mentioned in conversation we had earlier in the week that your entire defensive unit missed one total tackle in that football game. I don't think I've ever heard of that small a number before. That's almost perfection. And not only did they tackle, it was like tackle on the ground. It wasn't like tackle, hold on, make other guys help. Not that they didn't gang tackle, but what I'm saying is this guy had 868 yards after contact of his 1,010 rushing yards. He didn't have any. He didn't even get 40 rushing yards, and he got very little, if anything, yards after contact. It was extraordinary, the physicality of the tackling.
Yeah, again, great effort. And again, we kind of knew what it was going to take, and the collective effort to get a guy, such a great player, get him stopped. And again, the guys did a tremendous job doing that.
Mike Hilton, coach, it was almost like you were in Tennessee's huddle listening to the play call and bringing Mike Hilton at just an opportune time, and then him just hitting it the way he hits it. He slices in there with such aggressiveness, and he's a hell of a tackler.
Oh, unbelievable. Mike takes such pride in every job that we give him, but he was fantastic on Sunday for sure.
And I guess DJ Reader, not only stuffing the run, but he defended and got his hand on 3 footballs and knocked a couple of them down. The other one, he altered the trajectory of it. And DJ Reader played. What is it about the Tennessee Titans in that stadium, coach? He rises up.
Well, yeah, he always does a great job, as we all know. But particularly, last couple outings against them, he's played terrific.
So, what? When did you know that it was going to be that kind of performance? Did you have a feeling during the course of the week, the way the guys were focused, the way they were preparing, that it could be a special day, or was it when the early stages of the football game gave you confirmation, or when did you feel like, boy, this could be something?
Well, I have great confidence in our guys. During the week and just overall, even when things aren't maybe going exactly the right way, I always feel like we're going to respond and come back and fix some of the things that we may have not done well in a particular game. So I always feel good about our guys, and I was confident going into that game.
How about your red zone? Three penetrations in the red zone. This was a football team that was number 2 in the NFL in touchdown percentage behind the Bengals going into the football game. They go 0 for 2 field goals and then miss a field goal. I mean, they get 6 points in 3 red zone opportunities. Can't do much better than that.
It was unbelievable. As you mentioned, they were number 1 coming in, and that's going to be so important this week is to make these guys kick field goals. Also, we got to do a great job in situational football for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about this next opponent this week, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm doing a little homework, Coach, getting ready for the game, and Andy Reid. I got a lot of respect for him. I mean, the first time I met Andy Reid, he had just started as a graduate assistant after graduating from BYU as an offensive lineman. But Coach, I guess the one thing I don't know of a former offensive lineman that will not run the football. I mean, Andy wants to throw the football, man. Andy, I'm thinking it's got to be in your DNA to run the ball if you're a former offensive lineman. But this football team, the Chiefs with Andy Reid, 14 different guys have had at least one carry of the football. 14 of them. 17 different guys have a catch. 11 different have a touchdown catch. 19 different guys have scored a point for the Kansas City Chiefs. But with that said, it's all about Mahomes and Kelce, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd throw it too if I had those guys. So
I hear you. But, I mean, for him to involve as many guys as he's involved in offensively, it's pretty crazy. But what is it about that dynamic duo of Mahomes and Kelce? I mean, you've seen some good ones during your time in coaching football. Where does this duo rank?
I mean, it's up there. They're tremendous. It's he's a almost impossible cover, Kelce. That is because he does such a great job of finding the holes in the zones, and he's such a savvy route runner. He knows exactly where to go, how to set up a defender and man, and the quarterback's right in line with him. So, when you're facing guys like this, it's you got to just manage what they do. They're gonna complete balls, obviously, and we just got to make sure that as I mentioned earlier, we take advantage and that we take advantage of and make sure we do a great job in situational football.
You were so incredible in the second half of the 2 football games defensively last year in January, the regular season game and the playoff game. 3 points in each game, 6 points combined in 2 second halves, working against this offensive football team. What was the key to that success, Coach, as you look back on that?
I just think our guys settling into the speed of the game. The first time we played them here, until you see guys like Tyreek Hill and McCole Hardman and Mahomes and Kelce and those guys. And now, Tyreek's not there anymore. McCole Hardman's injured. But the speed of the game and the way the quarterback throws the ball and how Kelce runs his routes, I think it takes time to adjust to that during the game. And I think, in the second game, they had just come off, the Bills game where they were rolling every time they had the ball. They were going up and down the field, both teams. So I just think it took us a little time to settle in. And once we did, we certainly did better. Trust me, we're not trying to give up a bunch of points early.
Right.
So, hopefully we'll have a better same result at the end of the day, which is most important, but, have a chance to, play a complete game.
Boy, the way you came back in both football games, double-digit deficits multiple times in the regular season game, come back and win the thing, and then down 21-3 at one point in the championship game, come back and win the thing with money mac, end of the game field goals. To do it twice, I mean, it's like, all right, we've been here, we've done it. Now been here and done it twice. Is there carryover? I know there's, new guys, it's a new team and all that, but there are quite a few guys that experienced it. Do you think there is any carryover, Coach, or is that just overrated?
No, for sure. I think there is. I think that the guys will go in, um, having been there, done that type of thing, but also realizing that that's great that we've had that in our back pocket. But at the same time, it doesn't matter. When the ball kicks off on Sunday, we got to go make plays and and to get them off the field, and that's and keep them at the end zone. That's our job, and it'll be a totally different game. And again, hopefully at the end of the day, we have one more point than them. That's what matters.
Coach, you played defensive back, you coached defensive backs, so that's where you cut your teeth. And to me, when I watch what you do, you disguise things so well. I was talking a couple of times already this week about, man, there were so many disguises against the Kansas City Chiefs from the back end to the front end. It was like a Halloween costume party, man. There were disguises everywhere, and you have so many that you can go to. It's just incredible. Do you have a kind of in your head, this is what I'm thinking about doing maybe in the first half, and then I'm going to do this in the second half, or does it just unfold more spontaneously than that?
Sometimes, but I think really it's just kind of the flow of the game and how the game's going and how the game's unfolding, and you try to, manage the calls that way. You're always trying to have a little something for later in the game for a big down. But sometimes you don't have the ability to save it. You got to use it all in the first half. So, each game is a little bit different.
If I'm an offensive lineman for the Kansas City Chiefs and I'm like, all right, let's look at the tape of the last two games there in January. It's bad memories, but let's learn. I'm like, my God, there's so much stuff to try to comprehend here. So many different things to figure out. How many spies does this guy have? How many different pressure packages does this guy have? Is that part of your process, Coach? And you have to have smart players, obviously, and you have to trust that those players can intellectually handle everything that you're throwing out there.
Yeah, we do for sure. Our guys are great. We can continue to give them stuff that they can handle, and they've shown that they can handle a lot. And and as I mentioned, if we weren't, then we wouldn't be able to kind of do the things we do. But to me, the more you can keep the quarterback and those great players off balance, the better chance you have.
So if you had to break it down to a couple of musts, I mean, do you have like, all right, we got to get these done on a weekly basis, and then depending on the opponent, there's some ancillary things that we got to take care of. But what are your 2 or 3 musts that are almost like, foundational things for you to get done on a weekly basis defensively?
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily this. It's always every week there'll always be we want a minimum of 2 takeaways. We're trying to get a minimum of 4 batted balls from the guys up front. So we want to disrupt that way. And then the other couple things are kind of unique to the team that you're playing. So this week, it's, as I mentioned to you already, it's going to be situational football. We got to play great third down, great red zone defense, and keep them off, make them kick field goals.
Let me get you out on this one, Coach. Patrick Mahomes is a rare breed. There's no question about that. What is a thing or a couple of things that makes him so unique? I mean, what is it that, like, wow, defending this guy is really difficult because?
Well, he's a rare athlete to begin with. He's got as strong of an arm as anybody. He's as accurate as anybody, and he sees the field so well. I mean, there's a reason why he is who he is, and what he has done and the numbers he has put up in our league. Everybody knows what's coming, and or at least you think you know what's coming. And he's really, really difficult to deal with, but he's got such great God-given talent. He's got great drive, and he's something special for sure.
As a part B to that, have you ever worked against a guy or game planned against a guy that can throw not just different arm angles but different platforms and, looking one way and throwing the other. And I mean, almost throwing behind his back, for crying out loud. The things that this guy does that are so far off the norm, I mean, traditional quarterbacks, mechanics, out the window with this guy. Have you ever operated against a guy like that before?
I mean, he's rare that way. Certainly Aaron Rodgers can do some rare things as well. Another great player. But those two are they're just different with their arm strength and as you mentioned, the different arm angles that they can throw with. It just adds to the problems that they bring. So,
Coach, I have full confidence, though. I bet the lab's been busy, man. You got the lab cooking, don't you, Coach?
We do.
I enjoy the anticipation of what's Coach Lou got this week, man. So I can imagine what your players feel like. I bet they can't wait to get in that meeting room and see what's cooking in Coach Lou's laboratory right now for Patrick Mahomes.
I hope so. I know we will. We had a bunch of guys in, even though it was Victory Monday. We had a ton of guys in yesterday and another bunch of guys in today. So it's just a testament to the guys we have and how much they want to win.
Man, Coach, that speaks volumes. And they certainly do love and respect you. And I know it's the other way as well. And you got something special going. It's really fun to watch.
I appreciate it, Lap, as always.
You're the best. Thanks for carving time for us, sir.
Yes, sir. Take care.
At First Star Logistics, we're a very strict company that really puts the pressure on our employees. Breaks? What are those?
That's what I'm talking about, Icky. Get the body right, then the mind's right.
Gotta get that body right.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Become a star with a chance to earn the highest commission percentages in the industry as a freight broker agent. Check out firststarlogistics.com.